Hey everybody, I hope everybody had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day filled with all types of blessings and things of that nature. The spirit hit again, and I wanted to share something that I think is so, so very important that I share. And that's about don't put the limitations on God. Don't place limitations on God. And that's talking about don't, because you may not think you can do something for things that you've been called to do, that you place doubt in your mind and God is calling you to do something, and you end up placing those doubts and those limitations on God. We need to reverse that. We need to understand that, God called all of us to carry out different purposes in our lives, and sometimes those callings hit you, and they hit you, and when you feel called, you also look for the resources, and sometimes the resources are not there within your mind because your mind is limited, because what you've been called to do appears bigger than what you actually think you can accomplish. And so we have to be careful, like, because we look for the resources to be able to move forward with the purpose. The thing that we have to understand is that if God calls, He's going to place you where the blessings are. He's going to deliver and give you the necessary resources. But we have to move in action. And in moving in action means we move in faith. And we ask God to provide us with the resources, with the people, point us in those directions so that we can meet those things. We can ask those questions. We can figure out how we're going to make this true or come to fruition or implement something, right? However, because it's not before us, and it causes us to have faith of God that God can carry things through. And then when we don't think He can, based on a calling, we're putting limitations on God. So we got to take the limitations off. And you have to move with the faith of God, knowing that all of the resources will be in place, but we got to walk to them instead of running away from them, and also thinking that everything that God calls that it's a grandstand in front of everybody, and it's not. It's not a grandstand in front of everybody. It's a stand in front of God. That's who you're grandstanding in front of, not people. It's not about people. It's not about the approval or praises of people. And sometimes when we're called, we're looking around to share with other people to see if they buy in. No. You need to be looking around. Where is God? That's the plan. That's the buy-in. That's who you need to be developed in relationship with, to find out what it is that you need to do. And we need to learn to be still in that process when we're called to do things. And you may be called to be a doctor, you may be called to be a lawyer, a teacher, you may be called to be a program manager, you may be called to be a party promoter, you may be called to be a nurse, you may be called to be a fire person, you may be called just to sharpen pencils. You never know what your calling is. You never know, like, you just don't know. And we sometimes get caught up in the grand of it. It is not the grand of it. It's the action and the execution of it when God tells you to do something and to carry it out. And in our purpose, remember, God deposit great things inside of you. And He expects for those things to be utilized and shared. And that's how we align the world. Remember, I'm not into making the world a better place, because when you align, it becomes a better place. But you got to align. You have to align your mind, your spirit, your soul, your body. have to align and be able to do that. So I'm saying, I'm asking, I'm always out in reference, allowing people to be great. I get out of the way of that. I allow I want people to see how great they are. I enjoy being around people who are their authentic self, because I know when I'm dealing with when you're your authentic self. But when you're hiding behind a mask, I don't know who the hell's behind the damn mask. Nobody knows who's behind the mask. So just take the limitations off of God, and don't worry about the where and the how. Ask God for the where and the how, because you are only gonna go as far as you know. There are points in life where you are not gonna know, and those are the times that we're gonna have the confidence in God. We're gonna have the faith of God to move towards that. And don't worry about being afraid, because the best way to challenge fear is to go right through it, is to do it anyway. So bottom line, stop playing, stop bullshitting.